Nice one. Hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Jazzboy. We're in Sticky White Studios today, and we're going to be checking out the Whammy pedal. Really great pedal. Obviously everyone knows the Whammy pedal. Everyone knows the kind of crazy, well, I'll try not to play too much of it because we might enter into copyright territory, but the sort of that sort of thing. Everyone knows the Whammy pedal does that, and I think everyone knows that there's also harmony stuff going on, like how I started with the video with a little bit of... So like, those are the kind of settings that I think everyone kind of knows. And me being a massive Whammy fan, I don't think everyone else knows that there's way more to this pedal than just those sort of pitch effects. I mean, let's just take that octave setting to start off with. Obviously, there's two settings. There's the heel setting and the toe setting. So you've got octave below, octave up. And you lose that octave up a little bit sometimes on the low strings, but when you play the higher stuff, you start, it almost becomes a bit like a Octavia-style, fuzz-facey, octavey, high-up fuzz thing, Hendrixy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But what people don't realize is you can go between the two. It's not like a on-off for octave up or octave down. You can get this really cool sort of what I like to call the octave ripping effect. If you just play a note, I'll let it sustain with my sustainer, and then listen to the way the harmony sort of rips between the notes. I just think that's really cool, and something that people maybe don't know the Whammy can do. That's the kind of sound that you'd maybe think, oh, I might need to use like Pro Tools or Logic to kind of edit stuff to be able to achieve that. But no, just with a bit of careful footwork, you can achieve sort of really strange, blending-y, ripping-y sort of sounds that are kind of just a little bit outside what the Whammy normally does. So obviously you've got that sort of sound effect. Another one that I find really quite helpful and useful is the fact that it's a chorus pedal, and it's actually quite a nice chorus pedal. It sort of sounds a little bit close to sort of like the vintage CE1 sort of sounding sounds. But if we put that on really quickly with a nice little clean tone, here's the kind of clean, nothing going on. But if we put a bit of the chorus in, you get this really lovely chorus. I mean, the second you start playing like that kind of sus2 chord, we're in a certain territory now. I'll give you a little look at my pedal board. I'll just cut in some footage here. But that's literally just a little bit of love from the Hot Wax on the hot tube side, but mainly set to like a boost as opposed to a gainy sort of thing. And then it's literally just got the Whammy, and you get these lovely chorus sounds. Really nice sounds. You can take that one step further and you get a bit more, I guess, Leslie territory. adds quite a nice warble and warmth and weirdness to your sound. The only other sounds really that I think are kind of worth exploring without getting into MIDI territory, because obviously you can, which I've been doing with my Boss ES8, thank you very much Boss, you can do obviously MIDI changes. So with just the Boss ES8 here, I'm going to go from that heavy and then I can go straight to the chorusy. Now, one other way that people might want to use the whammy pedal, if you've got that clean setting and you whack it onto the harmony octave up sound, you get this sort of nice, kind of turns your guitar into a bit of a synth. If we just put a bit of delay on as well. Now we're in sort of synthy, nice territory. Getting sort of these weird, it kind of makes me think of kind of Close Encounters, that kind of thing. But it kind of turns the guitar into a bit of a synth, and it works both ways. With the octave up, you've got a quite nice, maybe good for sort of arpeggios. Very sort of Radiohead territory, and then bring the octave down in, and suddenly you've kind of got like a almost sounds a little bit like a sort of old-fashioned that sort of like old school synth, and it's just the whammy pedal. Like, I think people just think you use the whammy pedal for the wee stuff, but there's so much. Everything in this video so far has literally just been a whammy pedal with a bit of gain and maybe a bit of delay, but all the effects and everything, that's pure whammy. So one last one before we go. So you've got the dive bomb setting, which is great for sort of if you don't have a Floyd Rose sort of system, you can just do one of these kind of pair that with like a kill switch, which my guitar has, and you can get all these sort of crazy and yeah, endless possibilities from a whammy pedal, which is why I recommend, when you're getting pedals to start off with, tuner, overdrive gain of some sort, whammy pedal, boom. You're set up for life. So yeah, that's been a little bit of a run through of some of the weirder effects on the whammy pedal and just how I don't think people are using it properly. It's kind of how I use it. I use a lot more of the chorusy stuff. I use a lot more of the harmony stuff for if I'm kind of overdubbing synth lines. Basically, yeah, whammy pedals, great, but underrated because I don't think people realise just how much there is in there. But yeah, thank you for watching, and let's have a little bit of a nice little riff out on the way out.